Okay, so I'm going to show you a stretch for the quadricep, and I'm going to show you various intensities. Now, if your quad, this muscle, it's your quad, there's actually 6 muscles in here. 2 are blended within the quad, even though they say quad, which means 4 muscles. Now, the one in particular that I'm going to be talking about is the rectus femoris muscle. It starts right up here, front of the hip. It's called the anterior superior iliac spine, or the ASIS, and it comes right down to above the patella. Now, its job is to, with the quadricep, is to do that extension off the lower leg or the knee. It also does this action as well, flexion of the hip, because it's the only 2 joint muscle in the quadricep. That makes it very interesting. All the other ones are only 1 joint. Now, it also does a bit of this, external rotation of the hip and internal rotation of the hip. Now, you can get a sore back because these muscles here can get nice and tight. And if they do get nice and tight, what happens is it can do this. It can rotate the pelvis that way. It can do it on one side, it can do it on both sides, so you can have an imbalance. And if you do have an imbalance, you may have a little bit of discomfort back here in the lumbar or the lower back. And if that's the case, I'm going to show you a stretch right now that you can do that can help to loosen that up. Okay, so if you have, chances are you have a bench, sofa, chair, or couch, any one of those, and hopefully you have no knee issues. Because if you have knee issues, doing it the way I'm about to show you is probably not the best way for you, so I'll have to come up with an alternative method for you in particular. Let me know if this doesn't work for you, and I will show you a different way we can do this stretch. So I get down, I protect my knee because it's always about safety first. I have a cushion, maybe you have a pillow or a cushion. I have a pad actually. And imagine this to be a sofa or a chair. What I do, I flip around like this, like so, and I put my leg against the bench, and I have this leg at least 90 degrees. I don't want to be like that. It's just not a good position to be in. I want to be 90, and I want to be wide enough so that I have stability, that I'm not going to flip over onto that side. Now, with that, I want to be nice and tall like I am now. As you can see, I am tall like this. Hips are going straight forward like that. And if I want to just get an easy stretch, first thing I do is exactly what I'm doing right now. In this position, I'm pushing this down I'm pushing my ankle down into the bench. That gives me a stretch. Right away I can feel the stretch from here. Now, if I want to get more of a stretch, I can actually stay nice and tall. I don't want to lean back like this or lean forward like that, because that takes away some of the stretch. I want to be nice and tall like this. I start to move like that. And as I move like that, oh yeah, this starts to stretch. Make no mistake, it will stretch and you will feel it. And I do feel this. That's one way to make it stretch. If I want to make it stretch a little bit in a different way, using a different method to stretch out my quadricep, is my glute. The gluteus maximus and all these external rotators off my hip. I contract it. Watch what happens when I contract it. When I contract it, my hip moves forward. Contract, hip moves forward. One more time. Contract, hip moves forward, and it gives me a nice stretch in this area as well. So that's another addition I can do, but the first is basically just like this. The second, you can go like that. Now, if you want more of a stretch, because this isn't giving you enough of a stretch and you just want more, you could basically, again, be square, take your hand, reach straight up like this. As you're lifting your hand straight up, like what I'm doing like now, what happens is it gets the whole lateral side of the torso. It also works all the way down the quad. More so the lateral quad, the lateral being the outside of the quad, but you'll feel it. And while you're in this position, if you want to increase the stretch even more, just lean forward. Oh yeah, I get that. Now, if that's not enough for you, you can, again, reach for the sky, partner. Let's say that in Western movies, right? You go up like this, and then I reach over like that. And while I'm reaching over to my left, now I go a little bit forward like that while my butt is contracted. That's going to give you a good old stretch. And you can switch off and do the other side. See how that works for you, especially if you sit a lot. If you sit a lot, this is a fantastic stretch, and it's going to help to just loosen things up and help you feel better. If you have any thoughts or questions, please comment me down below, and if you like what you see, give me a tick, and I look forward to seeing you here again tomorrow. Thank you for stopping in.